This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Hour number 2, folks. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. And don't forget, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664 if you want to sponsor one of our segments or be a part of this growing platform. Manny, good morning, sir, on a hot-ass Friday, my man.
It is hot, though.
Yeah, well, we got a hot Jacksonville tackle that needs to make a decision. Yep. What's going on with the Canes and the boy from Jacksonville?
Yeah, Derek Plaz. He's a 6'5", 290-pound offensive tackle from Jacksonville Mandarin High School. He's only a 3-star, which I know Miami fans are kind of upset. They're tired of getting the 3 stars, but he is one of the best offensive tackle prospects in the state. The state of Florida isn't known for producing a bunch of offensive linemen. Most of the country comes here for wide receivers, DBs, running backs. That's what we specialize here in the Sunshine State. So, yes,
usually when you end up trying to get an offensive lineman locally, you end up with Freeman Brown or Zev Lumeski. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, Derek has actually been recruited by some pretty good programs. He was committed to Penn State, believe it or not, for 11 days. Earlier this month when he went on his official visit. He got too excited while he was there. He's kind of like, I love this place. I want to commit. And then realized after he didn't.
Are you sure he didn't get scared because he saw Manny Diaz?
Maybe that was it. Manny Diaz talked him into it. You're right. So he decommitted right before he came on his visit to Miami. He said, all right.
Manny, I'm going the other direction. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so he opened it back up, and then he visited Miami and NC State, and now he's going to choose between the Hurricanes and the Wolfpack. NC State, of course, has put out some good offensive linemen here the last couple of years, had guys drafted that position, so we will see whether or not it's the Canes or the Wolfpack when he announces at 12 today.
That's what they do in NC State.
That's their sign, yeah.
This is their little Wolfpack.
Their little Wolfpack sign, exactly.
Yeah, that's their Wolfpack sign. Okay, all right. All right, and we got another prospect also making decisions.
Yeah, this weekend, Devon Mitchell, who's part of the 2025 class, but he's a 5-star. He's one of the best players in the country in that class. So everybody get excited. Two more stars. He is a 5-star right now in the 247 Sports Composite. 6'4", 245-pound tight end. So he's already a man, and he's only 16, 17 years old. Originally from the state of Texas. He transferred to California. He's going to school in California now, Los Alamitos, which has produced some guys over the years. Yeah. He'll be a junior there this year. But Devon recently came to Miami this summer, within the last couple of weeks, and has sort of targeted Saturday to be his announcement date. I know Oklahoma, some people have viewed Oklahoma as the favorite for him. Alabama's another school that wants him. The schools that always get the 5 stars, though, those are the ones that so Miami's in a fight to get this kid, and if they're able to get him, I know, look, it's 2 years away from signing and the whole thing, but you get a mega kid like this who's a 5-star, one of the best in the country, period, at his position, that helps build your next class, and that's the way that this is what it's all about for Mario, right? Winning the recruiting battle.
You can't have a disaster of a season because
right.
Those that committed will then decommit. So
exactly. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand, absolutely. But Devon certainly is excited about Miami. I think they feel pretty good about where they stand with him, and we'll see what happens when he announces his choice on Saturday. So those are the two sort of recruiting news nuggets to pass along this week as far as going into the weekend in the next 48 hours.
So let me ask you something that has made your life impossible.
Yes.
Okay. It's made your life harder. But it kind of goes with what's going on right now with the Miami Heat. And I know you're like, what the hell is he talking about now? Okay, so for many years, you covered a sport that a coach could get the team in trouble. In other words, he could Lou Holtz the team and then Lou Holtz out and go to the next school and leave them with the mess that they have to then clean up, and players are stuck there and they couldn't go anywhere and all that kind of shit. And so now we just talked about this, that if Manny has a shitty year, those that committed will decommit, or those that are playing with you for 1 year are saying, whoa, I'm getting out of this mess. I'm out of here now. So it's made your life impossible now because committing doesn't mean shit.
Yep.
It only means something until the guy's actually playing in his second year with you. Then you really know you have him actually. That's kind of the way it's gone. But the beauty is that players were constantly getting screwed for decades. Now they've got more control and power than they ever had on where they want to go and where they want to be. Oh, hey, that school knows how to produce NFL talent. Hey, that school is going to make me better. Hey, that coach knows how to coach quarterbacks, offensive linemen, whatever. That'll help me get better. NILs, this, that, whatever. Well, Damian Lillard's kind of doing the same thing. It's interesting how the battle of, well, he's been loyal for 11 years. Oh, well, they don't owe him anything because they're paying him hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, guess what? We've all worked with incompetence. We've all worked at a job that we don't want to work for, a boss we don't want to work for, a company we don't want to work for. Well, you know, I use the example of the kid from Utah that went to that got traded to Cleveland.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell,
right?
Yeah, dude. So you had your career in Utah. They couldn't figure it out, so now they trade you to Cleveland. Yay!
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why LeBron says I want to go to the Lakers, and why Shaq says I want to go to the Lakers, and why Shaq says, you know, he'll go to Miami, or LeBron will come to Miami, or Bosh will come to Miami, or Butler will come to Miami.
There's a track record.
You'll go, yeah, there's a track record of going to the right places. So it's funny how, you know, there's this challenge of trying to defend the organizations, but actually, if you're an employee or whatever, you should be rooting for Damian Lillard to want to go where he thinks he can have success, not be shipped up. Like, dude, let's say you're Shohei Ohtani, and let's say you already have a 7-year deal, but the Angels can't figure out how to win. So now they just ship you off to like Milwaukee and shit. Like, no, dude, you're Shohei Ohtani. You want to go Boston, the Yankees,
where you want to go, right?
Oh, the Astros, you want to go to the Braves. You want to go somewhere where you could showcase your talents, you know. So it's interesting how the Damian Lillard thing, or the way sports is kind of headed, even in the pro level, it's kind of following what's going on with college.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, and bringing it back to the Canes and that whole discussion, that's part of the challenge that Mario Cristobal faces, because for as much history and success Miami had, winning national titles from '83 to 2001, let's face it, Miami hasn't done shit for 20 years, and these kids that all grew up, you know, their parents may have loved the University of Miami or been like, man, that was a great program when I was your age. They're not stupid either. They see the schools that are having the most success, that are putting the most guys in the NFL. And so that's part of the challenge of why Mario Cristobal is in a pickle, so to speak, because he has to not only win with what he's got and what he's able to bring in, but then he's got to put guys in the NFL too. And I think a lot of kids look at Miami's NFL track record the last decade or so, and it's not great, right? I mean, the best players that they've put into the league, some of them have been transfers. You look at Jalen Phillips, right? They pulled him out of the transfer portal. You look at Osborne, the receiver. They pulled him out of the transfer portal. They haven't done a good job developing their own guys and sending them to the league and making them elite players. And that's something so vital in this recruiting process, which so many kids look at. And I know the instant reaction of Miami fans when I say something like this is to turn around and say, well, what about Florida and Florida State? They haven't won a national title in over a decade either, right? They've had their own struggles. Well, those programs have had struggles, but they've still been putting guys in the NFL. You look at Jalen Ramsey, right? The
Dolphins are trying to sign a running back from Florida State, by the way.
Right, Dalvin Cook. It's not so ancient, right, like the way Miami is. Where it's over 2 decades and none of these kids grew up in an era. All of Miami's greatest players who had that streak of going to the Pro Bowl every single year, those guys are all retired. Frank Gore is done. Andre Johnson is done. Yeah. Willis McGahee is done. These guys have been retired for a while now. And so you haven't really had that new generation of Hurricane go to the NFL and sort of carry the flag. So that's part of the struggle here, part of what Mario's trying to become, and that's why Miami invested 10 years in this. This isn't a, hey, we hired Manny Diaz, he's on a 3-year deal, and we'll review, what happened. This is a 10-year investment into Mario, a 10-year investment into upgrading the facilities, and to building this thing into what it needs to be for them to have the kind of success Miami fans want.
Yeah, and by the way, when you tell me about the Jacksonville offensive lineman that's 3 stars, see, here's where I trust their offensive line people that they have that are proven that, they look at him and they say, all right, he's 3 stars because of the competition he was playing in or whatever, but this kid's got skills or whatever. So that's something that I trust, Mario and what's the assistant?
Alex Mirabal. Yeah.
Right, Mirabal, who's exceptional at this. So they must see something in those guys. So that's why I don't get too. Plus, I know the history, and there's plenty of guys that were 2 or 3 stars and became amazing players at the University of Miami. So that's not a thing that you should really worry about. It's after you get them here, what do they do with them? That's what you got to see as coaches, and then we'll get a good feel. All right, what else are you working on in the Athletic during this stretch here?
Well, I just put out an article on local quarterback Davi Belfort, whose father is Vitor Belfort, the MMA fighter. He's going to a Miami rival. He's going to Virginia Tech. Interesting kid, one of 3 local quarterbacks who are committed to ACC schools in this cycle. So they grow up in Miami's backyard, but they're going to go play for the competition in the conference here in the next couple of years. I'm going to have a story on USF, the sort of forgotten school in the state of Florida. That now that UCF has gone over to the Big Ten. By the way, I just saw this. I know Miami fans are probably not going to like this stat, but USF actually has more blue chip recruits in their 2024 recruiting class, 5, than Miami does. Miami only has 4. So people talk about USF, and good for them, right? Good for this program that's trying to move up into the Big 12. Right now, they've actually got more blue chip recruits than Miami does.
Are you sure they're recruiting them or they're kidnapping?
They might be doing that, though. But good job, obviously, by the staff over there and trying to up their game as they move into the Big 12, which won't be easy. I know UCF fans are used to dominating their conference. There is a big difference between playing a group of 5 conference every single week and then having to go and mash against Power 5 conferences every single week. Physically, that's going to take a toll. So, but they're doing a good job right now. Gus Malzahn and his staff are doing a good job at UCF. So anyway, story on USF.
Go UCF. You will come to us.
Okay. There will be a story on USF, and down the road here, I'm going to have some stories on Tyler Van Dyke, Colby Young, some of the Hurricanes, as we get closer to the start of ACC Media Days, which, by the way, is the 25th through the 27th in Charlotte.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and is it the same on Threads?
Yes. Actually, you can just look me up. I think it's Manny Navarro 614 is what I go by on there.
That's your Instagram handle.
In my Instagram, correct, right. So you can find me there, but you got my Twitter account and Threads.
You're threading, right?
I am threading. I am doing both. I'm trying to fulfill my my obligations to both subscribers.
We have no choice now.
Yep.
Elon's brought it upon himself. That's just the way
he really has. He really has.
He really has. There's no doubt. All right. Have a great weekend, my brother. Appreciate you as always.
You too. Oh, good talking to you. Take care.
Thanks, sir. Don't forget to subscribe to The Athletic and support my guy, Manny Navarro, covering everything The Athletic. You get national news, local news, all kinds of breaking news. So check it out. And, of course, our friends at Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. They got anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. Go get your Messi jersey, Messi shirts, Messi hats. It's an entire messy situation over there at Caneswear. They've got Messi all over the place. I'm telling you, it is a messy situation. And if you want some Dolphins gear, they've got a lot of gear with the classic logo. Like this is one of the hats I bought recently at Caneswear. Huh? Yeah, baby. Yeah. Is that a sharp-ass hat or what? You want to get the real logo, they've got plenty of stuff with the real logo on it. They got Marlins gear. I got this hat there also. I mean, you got to go check it out at Caneswear, man. Panthers gear. It's a beautiful thing. Miami Heat. Gotta love it. Caneswear.com.
is the Big O Show.